This afternoon, we're bringing you team coverage of how the state and emergency management crews are responding after floods inundated Wisconsin.
You're watching News 3 now, live at 4. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. Hope you had a good weekend. Before we get to team coverage of the flood response, we want people who live in Middleton to know that the community should know there's a 911 outage there right now.
A technical issue is affecting some people's ability to contact the emergency line. Anyone who needs to contact 911 should call the city's non-emergency number instead, and that's 608-824-7300, and we will let you know as soon as the 911 line is back up.
Now let's get to team coverage of this weekend's floods.
Jalen Banks is live in Fitchburg with how emergency management teams are preparing for more frequent weather events like this. Will Keneally is in studio with how the state is stepping up to help with flood relief efforts. And First Warn weather meteorologist Jacob Montesano is forecasting what's to come. And we'll start with Jacob. Jacob, what are you seeing?
Well, right now we're not seeing any rainfall, but we are expecting a little bit more tonight and tomorrow. But it has been a nice break from the rain pretty much all day. The radar has been showing no precipitation in southern Wisconsin, and that continues at this hour. Now, as we take a look at the flood bulletins, nothing for our region, but there are still flood warnings in effect for areas near Milwaukee. That will be until Tuesday. Now, we're not going to see a ton of rainfall from the system tonight and tomorrow, but some areas could see at least brief periods of heavy rain, which may create some flooding concerns, especially for the areas that have already seen the flooding. So light rain is expected for the next couple of hours, probably not until a little bit later in the evening, but once we get towards the late overnight hours and early Tuesday morning, we are going to see some of those showers and storms roll through. Again, could see some heavy rain at times, and this first round of precipitation will mainly be for Madison and areas to the south and east. But I'll talk more about another chance of rain for the afternoon tomorrow coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Now let's get to our Jalen Banks, who is live in Fitchburg this afternoon.
And he's showing us how Dane County Emergency Management is preparing for more severe weather events like this. Jalen.
Brady and Susan, it's well known as far as the heavy rain and flooding that we saw in southern Wisconsin from over the weekend, most notably in our viewing area in Boscobel and in Grant County. Now, what we saw is pretty consistent with recent data. According to climatecenter.org, the upper Midwest has seen a 45% increase in our rainiest days between 1958 and 2021. If this trend continues, chances are we'll see rain events such as the ones from over the weekend more often. I had the chance to speak with the Dane County Emergency Management team on what their steps are after these rainy 72 hours.
So emergency management really kind of works on a constant cycle where we are either responding, reviewing, and working on recovery, or we're planning towards the future and working to mitigate risks.
Becca shares with me Dane County Emergency Management is sending staff out to Milwaukee to help them assess the damage from the flash flooding they experienced over the weekend as well. Tonight at 5, I'll have more from our Dane County Emergency Management team. But for now, reporting in Fitchburg, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
We will see you at 5, Jalen. Thank you. And one of the many places across the state that received a lot of rain, too much rain, was Milwaukee and many of its suburbs. The city was inundated with rain, and multiple state agencies had to step in to help local first responders.
The Department of Natural Resources deployed some of its boats to help stranded people in the Milwaukee area. Political reporter Will Keneally caught up with them, and he joins us with more. Will?
Well, when we look at the rainfall that Milwaukee faced over the weekend, in terms of just the water that we're talking about, using kind of the standard 10-to-1 snow ratio, that's roughly 2.5 winters worth of snowfall that city faced in a single weekend. And so the response was a full court press from all kinds of state agencies, especially those who have water-based training.
When situations like floods come up where, boat operating is a need, and we have the training and the equipment to do so, and we are a first responding agency, we're going to go out there and help.
Now, the DNR says that they will often respond for local agencies that request assistance, and that is some of the That is, in fact, some of the same people that you'll see out in a state park, for example, or working on Wisconsin's riverways. Now, we'll have more about the state-level response to this flooding coming up tonight at 5 and 6.
All right, Will, we'll see then. Thank you. And you can receive updates whenever severe weather hits by downloading the free First Warn Weather app. Just search WISC Weather in your app store.
We have some breaking news today. The Richland County Sheriff's Office is looking for a missing man. This is 43-year-old Joshua Ray Clark. He was last seen Friday at his home on County Highway C in northern Richland County. He may have been traveling in his car or on foot with an acquaintance. He left his personal belongings and medicine behind. If you have any information about where Josh is, call the Sheriff's Office. In national news, police in Washington, D.C. are under federal control. President Donald Trump announced this morning he planned to deploy the National Guard to the nation's capital. In addition to addressing crime, which is actually down in the city compared to last year, the president wants the Guard to take on another role.
And we're getting rid of the slums, too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live.
Neither the D.C. mayor nor the police department were aware of the president's plans ahead of his announcement. The president also said this effort will not end in D.C., hinting other big cities could be next.
To Wall Street, stocks slipped below their record highs ahead of an update on inflation. The Dow dropped 201 points at the close. The Nasdaq is down 65, and the S&P 500 lost 16 points.
Some new findings shed light on how many dogs Ridgeland Farms sell and to who.
Our Kyle Pazorski shares what was found by advocates who are looking to shut the farm down.
The University of Wisconsin-Madison and drug developer LabCorp both being named in a recently published list of clients of troubled beagle breeder Ridgeland Farms. Through open records request filed by Rise for Animals and the Marty Project, we are now seeing for the first time documented evidence of Ridgeland's buyers. Between the start of 2022 and July of this year, more than 6,800 dogs were sold by Ridgeland. The documents show only about 2% of the total amount were sold in Wisconsin to UW and LabCorp, but advocates believe the list may be incomplete. Lindsay Sophis says they found Ridgeland sales are decreasing year over year, pointing to a possible sign that public pressure campaigns against the Blue Mounds breeder are working.
They're able to continue to turn a profit and therefore have an interest in continuing to do what they're doing because there are folks creating demand and buying those products, in this case, living beings.
During the period the records requests were filed for, UW-Madison bought 19 dogs from Ridgeland, while LabCorp purchased 170. Advocates have long tried to bring accountability to the farm, claiming the dogs in Ridgeland's care suffer animal cruelty. In Madison, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Kyle. Both UW School of Veterinary Medicine and LabCorp have not responded to our requests for comment, asking if they continue to buy from Ridgeland.
Consumer advocates say you might be getting charged more than your neighbors due to your own personal data.
We'll bring you tips on how to avoid something called surveillance pricing when we come back.
And after a weekend of rain, Jacob Montesano is tracking whether we could see some more and when. That's coming up in his First Warn forecast.
Welcome back, everyone. We have a special announcement this afternoon about a well-deserved promotion here at News 3 Now.
Our sports department has a new leader. I bet you'll recognize him. Andrew Banstra is officially taking on the role as sports director for the station after 3 years of working here. Hey, congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm incredibly excited to, start this kind of new journey within the same team that I know and love and get to work with you guys even more.
Yeah,
we're very excited. And are you planning on, is there anything different or special that you're bringing to this position?
Yeah, I think that for me, it's, taking that next step in terms of, leading our market and coverage between all of the things that we know and love, whether it be the Badgers, the Brewers, the Packers, high school sports, the Bucks, you name it. It's, continuing to do things at the highest level we know how to do. And just do the best job at it we can. I'm so incredibly excited for this opportunity, and not just to work with you guys, but to get to know everybody, behind the screen even a little bit more, you guys out there. So it's something that I've always, kind of thought of in the back of my mind, and incredibly humbled to have the opportunity.
Our sports director, Zach Hanley, you may recall, is no longer with the station, which is what allowed you to move into this role. And you mentioned you've been here for 3 years. People might recognize you. You were in news for a while.
Yeah, it's
then
true.
Went back to the dark side, which is your real love. Sports is truly your passion. And with football season coming up, the Badgers and the Packers, what are some of the big events coming up that you're most looking forward to?
Yeah, we're going to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
We're within 30 days, even much less than, of the volleyball season starting, high school football starting, the Badgers football starting, of course, and obviously the Packers getting started here soon with their regular season. All of that kind of encapsulates to what we do every single day. But in addition to that, we've got the Wisconsin Huddle running back for the 3rd year, which is going to start that first week of September, which of course is something we're really excited about. And it's something that gives us the opportunity to continue to connect with the athletes on a completely different level. So it's just such an exciting time of year, and for me, a really exciting time of the year, of the calendar year, to get started as sports director.
You've also done a lot of great work over the years, showing our local high school athletes and connecting us with those communities. How proud are you of that?
I'm incredibly proud, and I think that that's where it all starts. The Badgers and pro sports are incredibly important, and it's something that, you all care about and that we care tremendously about. But connecting with our local communities and with the high school athletes that we have in our area that continue to do exceptional things every single day in a variety of sports, not just here in Madison, but in our surrounding community, is something that is going to be at the forefront of what we do going forward, and something that is incredibly important to me. And, showing the stories right there in your backyard is something that we're going to do at the highest level, and incredibly excited to do that. And not just to do it here on TV, but being out in the community, being at these local games is one of my favorite parts of the entire year. And, connecting with people, not just the athletes, but the fans, the parents. It's something that we're going to do at a high level, and that I'm really, really thrilled about.
We're so excited for you. You worked so great with Zach. We wish Zach well. He's on to bigger and better things. And now it's your turn to be sports director. We couldn't be happier for you.
And I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Hopefully you're going to be on the 4. Not that you don't have enough to do. My goodness.
I would love to.
Yeah.
See you guys more often.
You have a standing invitation.
I appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Let's get a look at our first Warren forecast. Jacob Montesano is here with what he's watching. Jacob.
Thanks, Brady. As we look at the 3 things you need to know, we are going to see a chance of storms tonight and tomorrow. For Wednesday and Thursday, though, we'll see plenty of sunshine, and we'll have a little bit of a dry period with warmer temperatures once we get towards the end of the week. And the end of the week will also bring back the rain chances. Now, the big story has been the flooding in Milwaukee and also parts of our area. Haven't really seen as much of the flooding concerns in Madison, but we did have a record amount of rainfall yesterday for the date of August 10th. We had just over 2 inches. The previous record was set back all the way in 1887. Now, as I mentioned earlier, today has been a very nice break from the rainfall. Not really seeing much on radar, and we're still not going to see much on radar for the next several hours. But once we get to tomorrow, there is a small chance that some of those storms could be severe, mainly for areas north and northeast of Madison. Not expecting a big severe weather day at all, but the storms that do roll through could still produce some heavy rain, at least over a brief period. So we'll see some light showers later in the evening and early tonight, but we're not going to see the heavier rainfall until we get closer to Tuesday morning. It's going to move into our area from the south, and this first round of rainfall will be a little bit more widespread and mainly impact Madison and areas to the south and east. Unfortunately, it looks like Milwaukee could get a lot of rainfall with this as well, at least from that initial round. And then as we get towards the afternoon, that first round of rain not expected to produce any severe weather, but for the second round of rain, it'll be a lot more isolated, but some of these storms could produce some strong winds and maybe some minor hail, especially for areas to the north and northeast, like I mentioned, but we still could see some of those showers further southwest, and these are going to continue into the evening. Again, this round will be a lot more isolated, still could produce some of those small pockets of heavy rainfall. But that first round of rain in the morning will produce a little bit more, possibly up to around an inch for some areas, maybe a bit more depending on where the heaviest rainfall occurs. And then that second round will produce a little bit of rain for northern areas. But again, the second round of rain will be a little bit more hit or miss for those areas off to the north. Now, looking overall at the rain chances going forward, Wednesday, Thursday, again, going to be dry with rain increasing rain chances increasing once we get towards the weekend. And temperatures will also rise for the end of the week before they do drop for much of next week. Next week does look pretty good temperature-wise, as we'll see highs in the lower 80s to upper 70s. And by the middle of next week, it looks like we'll see dry weather again.
Thank you, Jacob. To the war in Gaza, Israel is taking responsibility for a deadly attack on journalists. On Sunday, an Israeli strike killed 5 Al Jazeera journalists. The country admitted to targeting one of them, claiming correspondent Anas al-Sharif was a member of Hamas. But just 2 weeks ago, an American committee protecting journalists said it was concerned about Sharif's safety and believed Israel set up a smear campaign against him. In the aftermath, Palestinian journalists say they are afraid for their lives.
I myself, I feel I'm not safe. I could be killed anytime because I'm a journalist or because I'm just a regular citizen here. But despite that, we have to continue covering and telling the truth. Otherwise, the world will not know what is running here. If the Israeli occupation forces think that the Palestinian journalists are not accurate or whatever, let the foreign journalists to come to Gaza.
After the attack, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he has ordered the military to bring in foreign journalists. It's not clear if that means the media will only be allowed into Gaza under the Israeli military's control.
Consumer advocates say that you could be spending more than your neighbor online, and it's all because of a practice called surveillance pricing.
CBS News' Christine Lazar explains how it works and has some advice on how to avoid paying more.
Many shoppers have never heard of it. Have you ever heard of the term surveillance pricing?
No.
Any idea what it is?
No idea.
What is surveillance pricing?
Surveillance pricing is when you are charged based on your personal data.
Consumer watchdog President Jamie Court says companies will use data like where you live, how often you shop online, and how much you spend while doing so.
And then they charge you a price based on that data, and their algorithm determines how ready you are to buy a product. And if you're more ready, they charge you a higher price. And if you're less ready, they'll charge you a lower price.
It's something I believe I experienced when I was shopping for a swim backpack for my daughter online. I'd been Googling the item she wanted for days from my cell phone. But one evening, I happened to be on my laptop when I found the cheapest price yet on Amazon. Since I have the app on my iPhone, I tried to switch to my cell to make the purchase. But when I did, the price was suddenly $57.11, about $7 more. I thought it must be a mistake, so I used the share function and emailed myself the link from my laptop. But the backpack still showed up as more expensive once I opened it on my phone. 2 different prices on 2 different devices at the exact same time. Is it likely that they knew that maybe I shop more on my cell phone than I do my laptop?
Absolutely.
When I reached out to Amazon to confirm if the company uses surveillance pricing, a spokesperson told me we investigated and were not able to replicate the reporter's claim. Our prices change as we match competitors' low prices, offer deals to save customers money, or as independent sellers choose to update their own prices. Experts say there are some ways to try and avoid surveillance pricing. You can use a private web browser, clear the cookies in your search history, and check the price on multiple devices. But they admit those steps won't stop the practice completely.
And still ahead, an original horror movie dominated the box office over the weekend.
Stay tuned for Will Loper's review of Weapons when Live at 4 returns.
A new original horror movie won big at the box office this weekend.
Julia Garner stars as a troubled 3rd grade teacher in Weapons. Is it worth seeing? Well, here's local film critic Will Loper's review.
Hey, Susan and Brady. The newest movie in theaters, Weapons, opened to a massive $42 million this past weekend. A fantastic opening for an original horror film. But should you head to theaters to see it?
So this one Wednesday is like a normal day for the whole school.
But today was different. Every other class had all their kids. But Mrs. Gandy's room was totally empty.
The film begins by explaining how one night at 2:17 a.m., 17 children ran out their front doors and went mysteriously missing.
And they never came back.
Through a series of chapters, each following a different character, we slowly get the whole story.
The truth is that I want an answer just as bad as all of you.
We're talking about 17 kids in one classroom. I want to know what happened in that classroom. Why just her classroom? Why only her?
Weapons is an endlessly entertaining film filled with moments that range from the hilarious to the absolutely terrifying.
Leave the investigating to the investigators.
And although the reveal is not quite as satisfying or inventive as one might hope, there's still plenty to enjoy in Weapons, which is absolutely worth seeing in theaters. Although if you're not a fan of horror, you'll probably want to avoid this one. For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
I saw it, and I left the theater breathless.
You loved it.
I loved it. I would go see it again in a heartbeat.
Oh, and that's a good recommendation.
Yeah, so sweet dreams, everyone.
Coming up, Jacob joins us with another look at your forecast.
Plus, a reason for a hazmat investigation in Middleton today that shut down roads.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live at 4 on this Monday afternoon.
And we had quite the rainy weekend, quite the rainy Sunday, and we are starting with weather. Our weather words today are more rain on the way. Enjoy that blue sky while you can, though.
That's a beautiful summer picture. Love the flowers in the foreground, and look at the Simpsons clouds.
Oh, yes, very reminiscent of that. Well, let's go outside to Jacob Montesano, who is keeping an eye on things. Jacob.
Well, the good news is that although we are going to see more rain tomorrow, we also will see a lot of sunshine by the middle of the week. But looking at the current radar, it has been a very nice break from the rainfall today, not really seeing much across southern Wisconsin. And the dry weather today has caused a lot of the flood bulletins to expire, especially in our area. But there are still some flood warnings out near Milwaukee and closer to Lake Michigan. Now, as we take a look at the future track radar, we're not going to see much for the next couple of hours, a few light showers later this evening, but the bulk of the rain that we're going to see for tomorrow will happen late tonight and into the morning, especially for Madison and areas to the south and areas to the east. We could see some thunderstorms that will produce some possible heavy rain, not expecting any severe weather, but right now the bigger concern obviously is the amount of rainfall that we could see. Obviously, we're not going to see as much as we saw this past weekend, but we still could see some pockets of heavy rain. And then for the afternoon, we're going to see more showers and thunderstorms. The second round will be a little bit more isolated. Not everyone will see it. And this round will especially impact areas north of Madison, but also could see some of that rain further west. And also Dane County itself could see some of those showers and storms. So more rain tomorrow, but I'll talk more in detail about a very nice middle of the week forecast. All those details will be coming up a bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Today, the Sun Prairie Area School District is having a school board meeting.
This is the second time members are meeting since the former dean at West High School was charged with 15 child sex crimes. Tanasia Shaw is outside Central Heights Middle School, where the meeting will take place. Tanasia.
Hi, Susan and Brady. Yes, that meeting will start at 6 tonight, and community members are expected to speak out after the former dean of students at West High School, Robert Gilkey Massaguer, is charged with 15 child sex crimes. Now, 13 of them are related to child pornography, and 2 of them are related to sexual child exploitation. And then just 2 weeks ago, when they had their first school board meeting since he was charged, a criminal complaint came out, and there was a lot in this criminal complaint, but in it they said that Gilkey Massaguer had sexual contact with at least one female student on school grounds, and that he would exchange alcohol for nudes with female students. Now, again, 2 weeks ago, the community spoke out at a school board meeting in late July.
They're mandated reporters, and we shouldn't have to push them to do their ethical jobs. Many minutes in that school and interactions with that person, that former dean, could have been avoided if people had just done the job they promised to do.
And during that meeting, community members also spoke about how staff might have known about these accusations before charges were even filed. They talked about that a little bit in the criminal complaint as well. Gilkey Massagire is expected back in court in September, and I'm going to speak to more parents about the case and these charges tonight at 10. Susan and Brady, I'm going to send it back to you.
Now, three people are dead after a shooting near a Target in Austin, Texas. The suspect, who was at large, is now in custody, and it's not clear how many others are hurt. We'll keep you updated as soon as we have more information right here on News 3 Now.
The man accused of killing a Sun Prairie woman will go to trial early next year. The trial for Gerson Blanoe will start on February 16th of next year. The 24-year-old is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, giving false information on a kidnapped or missing person and hiding a corpse.
Now, the charges against Blanoe stem from the death of 27-year-old Ingrid Valverde Ponce. Valverde Ponce was last seen on January 11th. 3 days later, police found her body in the area of Portage Road and State Highway 19. A criminal complaint alleged the two had a relationship, and Blanoe was the last person seen with Valverde Ponce the night she disappeared.
News 3 Now has been following this story since January. You can find our previous coverage and receive updates directly to your phone with our free mobile app.
The scene of a hazmat spill in Middleton is all clear. News 3 Now received word of that hazmat spill just before noon today. Middleton police say acid fell off a truck in the area of Discovery Drive. For now, both lanes of Discovery Drive from Parmenter Street to Deming Way were closed for several hours.
Well, after a tough loss against the Jets on Saturday, the Packers are looking forward to win their next preseason game against the Colts.
But the Pack won't be operating at full capacity in time for that matchup. Our Packers senior writer Jason Wilde shows us why.
How you doing, everybody? It's Jason Wilde at Lambeau Field. The Packers went into training camp with a deep safety group. In fact, it may have been the deepest position on their roster. But at this point, they are without their first-team All-Pro safety, Xavier McKinney, who has a calf injury. He's not expected to return until the opener on September 7th against the Detroit Lions right here at Lambeau and right here on Channel 3. And now they've also lost Zane Anderson, who suffered a knee injury while tackling former Badger Braylon Allen during Saturday's preseason opener. That means there's some opportunity for some guys like Omar Brown, who was the star of Family Night, and Katan Oladapo, who was the third of three safeties the Packers drafted in the draft last year. So that position bears monitoring. We will monitor that and everything else Packers with our free coverage on channel3000.com. And when you're there, make sure you sign up for our daily newsletter so you can get our coverage delivered directly to your inbox. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Jason. Madison's Black Chamber of Commerce is celebrating a big milestone.
It's celebrating 1 decade of Black Restaurant Week. Our Josh Spreiter tells us what to expect during the event in the 608.
And after a weekend of heavy rain, Jacob Montesano joins us to talk about what comes next, his first war and forecast, later on Live at 4. It's Black Restaurant Week in the 608, and the event is celebrating a major milestone this year.
Our Josh Spreiter is here now with a preview.
Right now, the Madison Black Chamber of Commerce is hosting the 10th annual Madison Black Restaurant Week. That's right, 10 years. It comes as August is Black Business Month. The first Madison Black Restaurant Week was held in 2015, making it the first of its kind in the country at that time. A total of 33 Black-owned vendors are being featured this year, 17 restaurants and 16 food trucks and caterers. These places are offering exciting discounts, special menus, and unique dining experiences to showcase their talents. As part of the week of celebration, the MBRW is hosting special events designed to uplift local business, build community, and celebrate culinary endeavors. So here's what you need to know in the 608. Madison Black Restaurant Week runs until Sunday, August 17th. Enjoy the flavors of African American, African, and Caribbean cuisine while you discover local Black-owned restaurants and culinary businesses. Vendors can also vote to crown their favorite MBRW experience. You can find links with everything you need to know on channel3000.com. Tomorrow on News 3 Now, I'll be on location at one of those restaurants taking part this week. In the 608, I'm Josh Spreiter, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Josh. More local news now. American Family Children's Hospital has some new four-legged employees. Jimmy and Cash, both lab and golden retriever mixes, are joining forces with 3 other dog friends in the Canine Health and Medical Pals program. Oh, look at the smile on his face. Together, the dogs help the hospital's child life team during procedures, treatments, and difficult conversations between patients and families.
I've been able to see the impact that facility dogs, specifically Jimmy, are able to have as part of a patient's coping plan, coping with hospitalization, with procedures, with new diagnoses, and having those dogs there is kind of like a grounding measure.
Jimmy is hard at work lifting spirits in brain-related departments and the child intensive care unit. Cash is supporting the nutrition team.
They look like they're doing a good job.
Dogs are magic. They really are.
Coming up on Live at 4, parents are getting ready to send their kids back to school.
Psychologist Shyla Murgain joins us next with some tips for getting your child in the right mindset for success ahead of the first day back. That's when we come back. Well, whether you're getting ready to send your child off for their first day of kindergarten, middle school, or even high school, the back-to-school transition, which is coming quickly, it can be a big source of stress for kids.
Yeah, good luck, everyone. There are ways parents can offer support to set their child up for success. UW Health distinguished psychologist Shyla Murgain is here not only with some advice, but you have a special helper who is dressed very nicely, by the way.
We have a special guest who can see herself in the monitor. Honey, what's your name? Huh? What's your name?
What's your name?
Ellen. This is your daughter.
Yes. And how old are you? 3. And this is her 4th appearance here, so it's great.
Yeah, she's been a star on the show whenever she's been here. Well, I mean, this can be a tough time of the year for parents and kids, and you know, a lot of it comes so quickly, but what can they do to, I guess, be prepared for this?
Well, start right now. We've started working on earlier bedtime. We've toured her new classroom, met the new teachers, get those school supplies, and also talk about any challenges. Like we've talked about, if kids are mean to you, talk to a grown-up, or if, to be kind to others. So you might even anticipate challenges and problem solve them.
Ellen, are you going to preschool next year?
Yeah.
You are?
Yep. Yep. A 3-year-old preschool.
Yeah. So have you been talking to her about what to expect and what the day is going to look like to kind of get her prepared?
Yep. Yeah. She'll still be with her same friends, but new teachers this year.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. And you also said it's important to talk a little bit about after school. What's going to happen after school?
Kids often reserve their big emotions for when they come home, and a lot of kids feel pretty anxious during the school day. So think about calming and connecting. You can hug them, for example, and wait till they release the hug. You can have them walk outside barefoot, or listen to some music, or even do something creative, or spend time with a pet. That's that time to help them re-regulate or co-regulate. You want to bring in the calm and be present. Phones away, have space to hear about their day, but help them kind of come back to themselves, because that's a lot for kids.
Well, and I think it can be a lot for parents too. And as you send your daughter off to preschool, you probably want her to succeed in all the things, but how do you talk to your kid and let them know, like, if at first you don't succeed, try again?
Absolutely, growth and grit. Okay. So you want them working hard and having that stick-to-itness, trying new things, not being afraid of a mistake. And then also...
I'm loving her catching herself in the monitor.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, and really encourage, praise the effort. It's less about the outcome at this point, but that they can make mistakes, they can try, but try hard, and have them stick with something from the start to the end. They might need some help at times, but you can be the help, or a teacher can be the help, but have them come back to it and have them finish. That kind of grit can serve them well through life.
You're a big advocate, too, of mealtime together.
Absolutely. Kids and parents that have meals together, they're happier, healthier homes, less stress, kids eat better. And fascinating, kids actually do better academically when that family sits down. No devices again. And maybe you talk about your day, the highs and lows, what you're grateful for, what went well, any kindness they imparted, or even any challenges or questions they have for you.
Yeah, and that's something to carry on throughout as your family ages.
Absolutely.
Well, Eleven, I think, did you have some things that you wanted to tell us?
Yeah. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Yeah. Blue, like your beautiful
Yeah.
blue eyes. And do you have a favorite animal?
Monkey.
That's a good one.
Monkey. You are a silly monkey.
Yeah. And you have some blue nails. Did you want to show everyone
Yeah.
those?
And what does a monkey do? What noise does a monkey make?
Oink.
Oink, oink. I don't think so. Is that what a monkey says? No. What does a monkey say?
Oink, oink.
Okay. She's having a lot of fun here. Yeah.
Well, thank you both for coming on and visiting with us today.
You want to stay and be my replacement? You can do it. Yeah.
You're a natural.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, have fun in school and good luck.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
luck to all the
Charlotte.
families out there, too.
Bye, buddy. Thanks for coming.
All right, we can get a look at our first warn forecast. Jacob is here in the studio with what he's watching. Jacob?
Thanks, Brady. Here's a look at the 3 things you need to know. Rain is expected to return later tonight and for tomorrow, but then we'll be sunny for Wednesday and Thursday with some warmer temperatures by the time we get to the end of the week. Now, taking a look at the current radar, just as it has been all day, we're not seeing anything, which is definitely a welcoming break, but we are going to see some rain tomorrow. In fact, we do have a very small chance that some of the storms we see could be severe, mainly for areas north and northeast of Madison, and this is mostly going to be from that second round of rain. So looking at the forecast for the next couple hours, just a few isolated showers are possible, but we're not going to see much rain until we get closer to Tuesday morning, where we will see some scattered showers and storms move through the area, especially for Madison and areas to the south and areas to the east. But that's just the first round of rain. Will dry up for the late morning hours before we see a few more storms develop. This time the rain will be much more isolated, and the best chance of the storms during the afternoon will be for areas north of Madison, where we do have that small severe weather risk. But again, it's going to be a little bit hit or miss when it comes to the rain for the afternoon hours. Pretty much everywhere could see the rain, but again, the best chance will be north of Madison. And then once we get to Tuesday night, we are going to dry up. And looking at the amount of rain we're going to see from this, could see about 1 inch, if not a little bit more, depending on where some of the heavier bands of rain develop. But notice it's not going to be a big widespread system, although southeast Wisconsin will see a little bit more consistent rain compared to the rest of the area. Then, as I mentioned, will be sunny for Wednesday and Thursday before we do see the rain chances increase once we get towards the weekend and early next week. Still a bit unclear just how much rain we will see during that time, but it looks like temperatures will warm up for Saturday. Likely going to see some heat indices possibly getting into the lower 90s with the upper 80s for actual temperatures and higher humidity levels, but then we will drop for early next week and continue falling to very comfortable temperatures once we get towards the middle of next week.
And this is your reminder, you have 5 days left to help News 3 Now stuff the bus. Drop off new or gently used school supplies at any Dane County Walgreens or Boys and Girls Club location. We'll be right back.
Well, this is a live look this afternoon at the Fox River in Waukesha. Wow, that area really got hit hard by record flooding over the weekend. I'm sure you've seen a lot of the videos on social media. There's kind of a jaw dropper. Waukesha especially, Jacob, how much rain did they get there? That was one of the hardest hit areas.
Yeah, I mean, there were reports ranging anywhere from 5 inches to up near a foot of rainfall. Milwaukee officially got 6 inches. Unfortunately, not all of the specific data points have come out, but they, around 5 to 10 inches across the entire area for sure, which is, that's the amount of rainfall that they see more than they see over the course of the entire month, and it fell in one night.
And more for us maybe tonight and tomorrow?
Yeah, and more for them as well, unfortunately. Obviously not quite as much, but still, anything may not be a great idea.
Right. Okay, Jacob, thank you. We'll be right back.
Well, tomorrow on Live at 4, Josh Sprider previews the special menu of a local business participating in Black Restaurant Week. And coming up on News 3 Now at 5, we continue our team coverage of the response to the record amounts of rain Wisconsin saw over the weekend. Well, thanks for watching us today on Live at 4, and we hope to see you back here tomorrow. And remember, you can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.